Hi everybody, welcome back. Patricia here. Today I'm relaxing at home with a cup of coffee. I want to share with you my March recap, some life lessons I've learned, a great book I read with a really good mantra for you. I want you to walk away thinking that now is now. All that coming up. Hi everybody, welcome back. Patricia here, back in my own home. It's been a while. I feel a little rusty. I'm not sure exactly what to talk about, but I wanted to say hi and thank you so much to you guys. The reason we went out of town was we had a death in the family, and I had over 200 comments and prayers and hearts and hugs and support on the video where I told you why I was leaving town, and I have to thank you all for that so much. I want to return the favor. If you need me to pray for anything for you or for your family, put it in the comments below. I feel so grateful. I know that's what carried us through the time with our family, and it kind of uplifted us. There's a lot of comfort that came from what was happening in what should be a very devastating time, and it is devastating. God's presence was certainly felt, and I thank you all for those of you who thought about me and my family and prayed for us. So after we visited our family, we headed down south to North Carolina, and it's just been a place where I've always wanted to visit and where I've also thought about living, specifically in the Raleigh area. I did think about Asheville for a while and Charlotte and all these different places, but Raleigh seemed to have a little bit of everything. It reminds me a lot of the Bay Area in California. If you're from that area, you can expect to see some similarities, but it's not as expensive, not nearly as expensive. We loved our time there. Again, if you watch those vlogs, you know that my daughter was sick. If you didn't, my daughter was sick almost the entire week. Finally come home, take her to the doctor, and realize she has an ear infection, and so she is on antibiotics, and we also got her a probiotic as well. So she's being taken care of and she's fine. So again, I had support from you guys during that as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. She's never had a fever like that. I've never had to take her in. So it was a new mommy situation for me. I was a little panicked. Are we going to move there? We don't know. Most likely not yet. That's the best answer and most honest answer I can give you. It's not a no, but it's also not a rip-roaring hooray. You know, it is still this feeling of homesickness. We don't have any family there. Where I'm at right now, my mom is maybe 40 minutes away or so, depending on traffic. She works full-time, so we see her on weekends when we can, when I'm not busy or when she's not busy. So that, even though I don't see her all the time and she's not like a caregiver for my children, knowing that she's there is still helpful. She was checking on my house when I was gone. She took me to the airport and picked us up. You know, I had my aunt, who is also sick herself right now, help turn in my library books that I left to him where I counter. So it's just nice to have that family for emergencies. They might need me for something, and I definitely need them for things. So before we left town, we were attracted to Raleigh for a lot of different reasons, and those reasons still exist. But I was also reading this book, Happier at Home. Now, this is the same author of The Happiness Project. It's a second happiness project that she did. This one was only 9 months long as opposed to the first, which was 12 months. And she did it during the school year, September through May. I actually think I liked this one better. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I am happier myself. But I really love this author. She's so practical. She's really relatable. She doesn't do these grandiose adventures where she leaves behind all her responsibilities and travels the world. You know, she loves her home, her husband, and her children, and her family. And, you know, she has responsibilities. So, you know, finding your happiness project for you is the key here. So some people might need to abandon everything, do extreme minimalism, live in a tiny house and backpack around the world. This is a little bit more for those of us who want to sort of stay grounded and stay in our life, but still want to increase our happiness from our day-to-day. So having experienced what I did throughout the month of March and reading this book, it helped me realize that it's okay to be happy at home. Some people are, and I think I am, and I think I was embarrassed to be, because I always had these big dreams when I was younger, and I have friends who've gone on to do bigger and better and live in the city and, you know, make lots of money and travel and do all these great things, and I'm a stay-at-home mom living a stone's throw away from the town that I so hated growing up. I desperately wanted to move, and as soon as I was able to, I did, and here I am coming back to it. I think it's okay to realize that some of that teen angst isn't always valid. Yes, there is a bigger world out there, but wherever I end up, it can be my paradise if I want it to be. I can flip that switch in my brain right now and make this town what I want to be. So there are some things still within my control, namely how I choose to perceive life. That is very much within my control. The last chapter I read today, actually, I read the majority of the book before I left town, so I came home to just a little bit left. And the takeaway for me that I want to share with you is now is now. Now is now. If you keep postponing certain goals or milestones you may run out of time. Stop putting off the best of the best for later. I keep thinking that we're going to move this year, so I have stopped buying a lot of home decor that could increase my little tiny pleasures around my home, because like I said, I realize that I am somewhat of a homebody. I'm becoming more introverted, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. It's okay, that's who I am. I can socialize and I have friends. For those of you in my real life who think I don't, I keep thinking that I'm going to get rid of our sofa before we move and get a new one at the next place and sort of fit it for the space. But guess what? This is so uncomfortable. Every time I sit on it, I dislike it. And now I really don't know when we're going to move. I hope that it's this year, but who knows? So if I want the sofa and I can afford it and I've been saving up for it and I kind of know which one I want, I'm just going to do it because now is now. There is something to be said for delayed gratification and doing things the right way, but the idea of putting them off until everything is perfect or everything is set in order, that's a little bit unrealistic. So if you have to wait a few months, that's still somewhat now. But if you're thinking, I'll do this in 10 years, that may be too far of a goal. So if you're interested in this book, it came out a while ago. This is a library book, as they usually are. So you can find it probably now and read it now. Why wait? You always wanted to start reading, now's the time. I read in the mornings, find 10-20 minutes to read. Probably in the evenings would be the best time for most people. Whenever you can read, do it. I think you'll really enjoy this book. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be sharing regular, mundane, simple life stuff with you, because I realize that that's what I am and that's who I am, and I like it, and I'm certainly okay with it. I think there's something humbling about knowing who you are and what you like. I remember when I finally admitted to myself that my hobby was reading, and it freed me to just focus on reading good books that make me happy. And I've read more already in 2017 than I have, well, I read a lot in 2016 too, but I read a lot more this year. So I think I'm finally ready to admit that I sort of like the simple life. My day-to-day can look somewhat mundane and routine, and I'm okay with that because I know how to find happiness in the ordinary. I have a video coming up soon that I pre-filmed, just like the pantry video that came up. Those had been pre-filmed and stuff before everything happened, so it's kind of going to be out of order this week, but then we'll get back into the routine. I think I left off with the tidy and clean series of the living room, and by the way, Power Hour has exploded over YouTube. I feel like I need to do a Power Hour now, but just saying Power Hour like really makes me laugh and gives me like I have a different idea of what a Power Hour is, so it sounds like a workout to me or something, but should I do that? So I've had some life lessons this month, and one of the things I learned is that you guys are really supportive. So thank you again for being there for me. We're gonna get back into the regular routine of things, and as you leave this video, I want you to remember that now is now. Do something this day or this week that you've always wanted to do, whether it's try a bakery in your hometown or drive to the next city and go on that hiking trail that you've always heard about, or maybe it's drive up 3 hours to the biggest city you can think of and just go get a cup of coffee. Something that always kind of piqued your interest, do it now. Now is now, you guys. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.